Monday night game, Chiefs, Eagles rematch, and I was like, wasn't as stellar or as fun as the Super Bowl, but also too it didn't have the same build as the Super Bowl. But I think it was still a fun game nonetheless. This was really a defensive battle, and I felt like the running backs played a huge role in this. I'm not taking away from Hurts and Mahomes in this necessarily. I will say that, but to be honest, it was really just like this was sort of the game like the Super Bowl as far as like who had the ball last. Basically, you felt that they were either going to win or the other team going to be like, oh no, because Jalen Hurts, when he had an opportunity to basically get his team the chance to win, he was able to throw a deep bomb to Devonta Smith, and then they, pretty much did that little push to get up in there. On the other side, Patrick Mahomes had well over two and some change to get down the field, and by golly, he did really about did. Now, okay, so the beginning of the game, I was like, even though each team was sort of racking up sacks on the other team. To be honest, I was like, Jalen Hurts was getting smacked all up by Chris Jones and stuff like that. I was like, I think I was like, he avoided a second turnover because he threw an interception, which I just feel like the pressure was all around that he threw the ball late. Uh, but with Snead was able to get the interception. But there was a corner blitz by McDuffie, and he got Hurts basically open, and Hurts dropped the ball, and Hurts was able to just stand up and grab the ball, and I think that would have changed really the game at that point because they was in their own end, where it's like it's either at worst is a field goal, but at most is a touchdown. Um, I was like the Chiefs to me though really had more chances to put the Eagles away. Um, I was like, to me, they seem like the Eagles couldn't, like the Eagles. I think Patrick was able to get the ball down the field and just chunk out yards at a bet way better than Jalen Hurts would. Problem is that Jalen Hurts was just out like him and really Swift was able to just do like the big plays or big chunk yards that basically you know it's like cool, yeah, you think that Duncan took up like that much of the time and the clock, but pretty much we do three plays and we're already down here. I like Mahomes rely heavily on Pacheco with his hard ass running against the damn ground. Like he's you know what he looks like? He looks like his mom trying to chase him with a belt and he had to run away. That's what he looked like. And how aggressive and how hard he be running at that damn ground. But I was like, it was really hard on. I was like, it was really on him mainly also because the receivers were just dropping balls. I was like, even Kelsey was dropping ball. There was a chance of like a 3rd and 2 when they needed to go down for a score, and he just dropped it. Which lucky for them they converted anyway. But yeah, so I was like, it was really. I was like, Edwards, Hilaire, and McKinnon sort of got in there, but it's really Pacheco's always uh, and always, getting the ball and whatnot. Justin Watson seems outside of Rice to be Mahomes' target. God, outside of Kelsey, of course. But I'm talking about like the of his receiving option. Those two seem to be the ones that they go with half the time. Uh, but yeah, no, I was like pretty much the Chiefs sort of had the game a lot. I was like they went down, they scored first. He threw to Justin Watson in the back of the end zone. Uh, then I think that when I was like Jalen Hurts, I think he got the interception or whatever, and they basically went down. They went down, and they scored a field goal. Well then, the Eagles basically they went down the field. I was like, Johnny Swift, who was just like crazy. That dude got such a crazy first step. Like he is somebody that just seemed like if you just click buttons, that dude got the jab, got the spin. He got all the moves. But the Chiefs, I was like, Mahomes threw an interception that could have at least got them 3 points at worst. And like I said, that was an opportunity miss. The corner blitz that he didn't pick up the fumble, that was a miss. There was another shot where they had another chance where I thought he had Pacheco down at the bottom for the check down, but he went to Kelce, and Kelce tried to, I guess, two moves. I was like, he tried to shake it off too much, and he shook it onto the ground and caused a fumble. And once again, that's another 3 points at worst. But they was also moving and driving. Like, I was like, the thing is, as much as the receivers, like, they ain't what we wish was for what they had for Mahomes, they was getting through the Eagles back end. Like, they front end was, getting Mahomes like most of the night and chasing them down. But Mahomes able to do enough elusiveness, and he over here able to, so, but the front end was able to get him. The back end was getting ate up. But once again, they missed out on the opportunity. The Eagles were able to go down and score. And I was like, Jalen Hurts with the touchdown, running it in before the whole tush thing. And then I was like, then there was a chance where it was like 3rd and 2, and Mahomes somehow got sacked but didn't. Like he used a sacker to knock off the other sacker, and then he threw the ball up, and it was like 2 inches. It was like a foot high for Kelce to grab. Otherwise, that would have been gone. Then I was like, and then at the end of the game, I was like, it was like, I think it was like 2nd and 10 or something like that. Valdes-Scantling beat his dude, basically had the touchdown. Mahomes threw that thing, and he called it, and then he tried to bring it in, and as soon as he did that, it slipped out. And right there, you sort of feel like, that's it. That was a shot. Because I was like, cause they needed a touchdown. They needed a touchdown. The field goal wouldn't do it. They needed a touchdown. Now, granted, it still would have been like a minute and a half or a minute and 40, something like that. So even if they would have scored, the Eagles would have had a shot. But at that moment, the way the defense for the Chiefs been playing, you kind of like, I was like, even though Jalen Hurts has been able to score on them, it was such a hard time for them to do it. So at that point, you just really just sort of like playing back and just being like, all right, like, sending everybody after. Anyway, but then on the next play, it was like 3rd 10. Mahomes couldn't use his magic, intentional grounding. So now it's 4th and like 20 something. And the crazy thing is, they was this close to getting it. Mahomes did that craziness that how he did in the Super Bowl. Not the last one against the Eagles, but the one against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he was just out here throwing balls to receivers and he almost catching it. I was like, Justin Watson basically just went through his hands. Because even at that spot, if he would have caught it, 1st down, and that would have been bonkers. That would have been crazy. But they ended up losing it. And on one hand, I was like, it would just miss opportunities for the Chiefs more so than the Eagles. I feel like, yes, the Eagles took advantage of, a second chance at things or the opportunity, but really it was the Chiefs that had all the opportunities to put it away and extend their lead and not even be in this spot, and they just couldn't take advantage of it. I was like, Mahomes, except for that interception, played great. I was like, the run game for both teams were great. Jalen Hurts was good, considering and the defenses were good. The receiver for the Chiefs, which is probably going to be the story. I mean, I was like, that it's going to be a little bit on them. As much of that was like a good game, that's going to be on them. So Chiefs lose this one, and the Eagles stay right up at the top. And come away with it. They just keep winning. You know, both of these teams that just keep on winning, even though they don't look like how they did, last couple of years. Just keep on winning. But that's the Monday night game. It was actually pretty good. I was like, it was actually worth a watch if you've seen it. But yeah, that's just my recap, my analysis. If you like this video, I appreciate it. If not, maybe next time. But until then, next Monday night. Maybe. I don't know who's the team playing. We'll see.